Hi. Happy Sunday morning. I think my house is still asleep. So I'm trying to quiet down. How many of you thought that I was going to come on live this morning? If you thought that I was going to come on live this morning, meaning when I say thought, I meant if you knew that I was going to come on live this morning, then we're in the same frequency. Darn it, I hate when I put on my lashes and one is lower than the other. If you hoped that I was going to come on live this morning, then we are almost in the same frequency, not completely. I usually come on at 10:30, and so I am a little bit late, but it's okay. I'm here, and I'm happy to be here, and I miss you guys so much. It's been a few weeks since I've been on, so let's just start with what I'm going to be doing today. Over that period of time, I have had so many downloads, and that's why I got on here, because I would like to share them with you. I want to share my downloads. I want to let you guys know what's been going on, how I've been growing, how I've been expanding, how I have been evolving, because I know that this helps other people to do the same. And I know that a lot of people are interested in doing so, because that's just what's happening with the earth right now. How can you not be a part of it? How can you not evolve with the earth in the direction in which it is going? We see evidence of it everywhere, mostly in the way we feel, the things that we're observing in others. Everything is shifting. And so we don't want to get left behind. We want to be a part of the shift. Once you're part of it, you can now, proceed to upgrade, like everything around you. And those who are uncomfortable with the change or even unwilling, it's almost as if they're going to sense a feeling of being left behind, because nothing is going to be the same. Everything has already changed, so it's obvious that we can see that nothing's going to be the same. And that's a good thing. This is all about the bright side of things and positivity and welcoming the positivity into our lives. Everything is all about your outlook. Everything is all about your perspective, or the way you view things, how you see them. How you see things is exactly how they're going to play out. That's why they say some see the glass half full and some see the glass as half empty. Neither one of them are wrong. It's all a matter of perspective. And I hope that that really helps you to understand what I'm saying here about your life, your personal life, as it pertains to all the changes that are happening right now. So I wake up every morning and I listen to my audio recording. I'm going to have to start putting some guided meditations up here, similar to the one that I listen to for myself, because it's so helpful and it's training my mind. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Again, everything is changing. So to be a part of the change, you have to exercise or train. And so you want to train your mind. That means waking up every morning. Every morning, the first thing you want to do is address your spiritual self or your spiritual source, whatever that means for you. Get spiritual first thing in the morning. You are a spirit. So address the source every morning, giving praise, giving thanks for all the good that is in your life. This is going to help you identify with that rather than focusing in on a glass being half empty. So, number one, you woke up. Number two, you have your life. You have a general health. There are some people who are dealing with challenges, health challenges that make it hard or difficult for them to live the type of life that they may have had before or the type of life that they want. So give thanks for the fact that you generally have everything intact. And that's what you want to focus on. And I'm going to go deeper into that because I also want to talk about how you can create that within yourself. If that's not something that you already experience, you can create experiences by including them in this morning acknowledgement to your higher source, or some call it like a morning meditation. What you do in the morning is generally going to determine the course of your day. So if you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is check social media, those things you are imprinting in your mind. You're also imprinting them in your heart. And so, especially if it's something that causes emotion or energy in motion, if it causes emotion, that emotion is going to set the tone for your day. It's going to affect you and everyone you come into contact with. So be careful about what you choose first thing in the morning. Make it your morning meditation of praise and thanks. The other thing is, instead of being focused on asking for the things that you want, I want you to write them down. Write those things down, and I want you to place yourself in a mental state, which I've talked about before. Mental states are like entering various rooms. If you enter a room and you're happy, that's a mental state. If you enter a different room where you go in and everything just is all about negative emotion, then you're going to be in that mental state. You have to leave that room to go back to the happy room, right? Or whatever room you want it to be. So write the things down that you want and create a mental state of being in that feeling. Let's say you want to be someone who is completely and utterly healthy. You have to leave the whatever room you're in. You're probably in a room of being unhealthy, and you need to go into that room where everything is all about health so that you can be health. You go in that room and you become health. Now, I'm not asking you to take in all of the information that your 3D data is telling you, meaning your eyes, ears, all of your 5 earthly senses. I'm not asking you to pay attention to those in relation to your body, what your body is telling you, how you're feeling. I'm telling you to use your mind, because remember, I said this is a mental state. You're going to enter a state of mind where you are healthy. Now, as you're in that state of mind and you're in that room, so to speak, right? You're going to just, picture that meditation first thing in the morning. Picture yourself in that mental state as a healthy person. If it was a certain age that you remember, go back to that age and become that person in your mind. I want you to remember how you looked, how you felt, how others responded to how you looked and how you felt. I want you to think about your mental state at that time, that you weren't concerned with any types of health problems or health concerns. So go back to that age. Close your eyes, go back to that age and become that age. Embody it. And if you don't really fully understand what I'm speaking about, it's almost like when you imitate another person, say like in your family, just for fun, and you're like, oh, this is how mom reacts to such and such. And then you proceed to mimic her, and everybody laughs because it's true. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing an impression of her so well. Well, that's what I want you to do. I want you to impersonate yourself as the person that you desire to be. So I no longer want you to just sit there and desire it. I want you to create it in your mind. And if you can do this every day, every morning, even twice or 3 times a day, 3 times a day is ideal. But ideally in the morning and, before bed, I want you to enter that mental state. Okay, so I touched on going on your social media and how the social media can sometimes affect that mental state without you even recognizing it. Okay, here's the thing. No matter what, you're going to be in some sort of mental state. It's best that you determine, that you decide what that state will be, rather than everything around you that has conditioned you, which is why I left religion. So if you don't want your life to be ruled by the thought of a dictatorship, meaning anything and everything around you dictates what your life is and what your life is going to become, then you get behind the wheel. You take the wheel. This is your life. God gave it to you. Your source gave it to you. This is not someone else's life. And for those who believe in and understand soul contracts, you know that this is the life that you have gifted yourself. You determined what your life was going to be and what your soul's purpose was. You already know that. So now it's time to act like it. Now it's time to play it out. If you want to call it role playing, it's time to play the role of the person that you are designed to be, the person that you are destined to be, that you have come here to be, the role that you are going to play. It's time for you to step into those shoes. Put those shoes on. Put those clothes on. And be that person. Stop being someone else. As a human being, we have the birthright to be whom we want to be, not what someone else says. I really want to drill that in your minds. Not what your doctor said, not what a book told you, not even what your parents told you, because your parents may not even know. The only person who knows is you. You are the one who knows. I really hope that you guys share this video. I would love for this video to really be circulated so that people can understand that this is their choice. And in having that free will to make that choice, you get to determine what rules you play by. You even get to create your rules. You're going to have all sorts of people who enter your life and they want to tell you what their rules are, but those are for them. I have people around me who love deadlines, but that's for you. I don't For me, that's, that's dead to me. That's why it's called a deadline. Like, bye. I I don't go by that. I live in the moment. Live in the moment. Learn to understand. You guys ever heard of Eckhart Tolle? The power of now? Live in the present moment. I'm sure you guys have been hearing how, if you're stressed, it's because you're worrying about something in the future. If you're depressed or whatever, it's because you're worrying about something in the past. Live out your now. Your now is what you create. Let me pull up some of my downloads because I want to share with you guys some of the things that I've been coming up with. I've been really in heavy meditation and prayer. And so, like I said, when I wake up in the morning, I address my spiritual guides, my spirit team. So I'm a believer in God. I'm a believer in the highest frequency. I believe that there is a universal intelligence that guides us all. That's just my belief. That's the way I go by life. Doesn't mean that it needs to be everybody's belief or that what someone else believes is incorrect. It does not mean that at all. What's correct for one person may not be correct for the other person. But like I said, we each have our own roles to play. We each live here on this planet, and as a collective, we can all do something great. We each receive our own blessings. No one is kept from blessings unless they themselves block those blessings. They're the only ones who can determine that. No one else can determine that for you. And if you are in a situation where others are having some sort of control over your life, you want to take back that control, starting in the mornings, in your mind, letting your higher source know that you are making a conscientious decision to be in full control of your life in relation to your higher source, and that you appreciate and accept the guidance from your higher source. The people around you are not your higher source. They may shine a certain light that also shows that they're attached to that same source. And when they do, you find yourself vibing with them, being in the same frequency. How do I say it? Like frequenting that same frequency, right? And so when you do, it's nice to have someone like that. We call them like our soul tribe. Sometimes you may even find a soulmate or two or three or four, because it's not just, romantic. We're talking about people here who you really can connect with because you guys are connected in a very similar way to your source. And so that draws you together with them. But those who are not, listen, whether they are connected in the same way you are to source, or whether they aren't connected in the same way to source that you are, whether they are or whether they aren't. I want you to know that you have your own set of guidelines, standards, rules that you go by, your own set of circumstances in your life that makes you uniquely you. And all of these things need to be in harmony with your connection to source. Your connection to source does not make you hurt, sad, depressed, disadvantaged in any way. In any way. Your connection to source makes you abundant in all things. And so, in order to reach that space, because of the way you may have lived your life up to this point, you may be unraveling some things that keep you from reaching your full potential. Mostly they are beliefs, because again, we're talking about thoughts, which are energy. Those thoughts dictate your life. I want to really be clear on something. Your thoughts are the only thoughts that dictate your life. Only your thoughts are the thing that dictate your life. That's it. So be very careful about what you allow in to your mind. What are you allowing into your mind? What are you feasting on? You have portals. Whatever you allow in each of those portals are what is going to shape your thoughts. Whatever you allow in each of those portals are going to shape your thoughts. Those things will dictate who you are, how you feel, what you do, how you deal with other people. Those things are going to dictate that. So please choose wisely. I am here to help you take control of your own life. Just last year, I changed the course of my life. I'm still getting used to purging limiting beliefs. From the point of your quote unquote awakening all the way back to birth is usually how many years you're trying to overturn or undo. But I'm learning that trying is not what we want to do. Trying, hoping, chasing, those things are perpetual. You will completely continue to circulate those things as long as you stay in that state of mind, of trying, of chasing, anything like that, hoping. Hope is to me, is a false word. Hope does not get you anything but more hope. And it keeps you in that state of mind. Hoping is like getting on one of those moving conveyor belts at the airport. You know, it's like the escalator, except it's flat and it just moves you straight ahead at a higher speed than what you would typically be at if you were walking with all that luggage. So you get on this conveyor belt and it moves you forward. Hoping is like getting on one of those that you can clearly see is not in operation. It is not moving. It is not moving. And so you get on there and you stand there and you hope that it starts. You hope that it goes. And so hope means that you have given your control over to someone else who decides whether or not they're going to start that conveyor belt. However, if you want to move forward, you're going to get off of that conveyor belt instead of hoping, and you're going to be in motion. You're going to move and walk your legs. Now, on the other hand, let's say that conveyor belt is moving. It's moving, everyone is getting to their destination. There is no indication whatsoever. There is no sign whatsoever that that conveyor belt is going to be stopping. As a matter of fact, there's a sign that says that this conveyor belt is going to be running until 10 p.m. And you step on the conveyor belt, let's say 8:15 p.m. You know that you don't need a full hour and a half on that conveyor belt. You know that. You know you don't need a full hour and a half. So you get on there and you know where you're going. And you get on there in faith. Like Joseph Rodriguez said in his videos. I can't remember if he's quoting a book or not, but calm faith. You get on there in calm faith. And you just relax knowing that you're getting to your destination. You're not sitting on the conveyor or standing on the conveyor belt stressed out, wondering if you're going to get there. You're going to get there so quick that when it's time to step off, you have to be careful about the way you step off so as not to fall, because it's getting you there as guaranteed, as promised. So don't hope. Don't do that to yourself. Don't hope. I want you to know. I want you to have faith. I want you to have faith that what you want, what you desire, is already in existence. And as you put yourself in that mental state and emotionally, you start to feel all the things that come along with that desire being fulfilled. How do we do this? We do this by daydreaming, imagining, again, meditation in the morning, meditation in the evening before bed. I want you to place yourself in that room, go in through that door, into that room where you are experiencing this mental state. There are a lot of things that we can't do on our own. I want you guys to remember that you always have help. If difficult to change something that you've been doing for 46 or 47 years, or however old you are. It's difficult because of habits and things that you're used to. But it's so easy once you start embodying your source. Pretend to be your source. The same way you can imitate your mom, I want you to imitate your source. And I want you to be the giver, the gifter. And then embodying yourself again, I want you to give thanks. Give thanks to your source. Give thanks because you know that it's already done. You don't have any question. You don't have any hope. You're not chasing. All you have is full confidence that it is already done. And so now you want to start acting like it. You want to start feeling it, being it. You are a human being, not a human becoming. You're a human being. All you have to do is be. Once you state your desire, once you understand what it is that you want, once you understand who it is that you truly are, now in your mind, just be. Just be. Don't do anything different from that. Let's see. I kind of lost my train of thought because I hear some noise in the background. A human being. Neville Goddard talks about how your desires will materialize in the outside world. The desires that you have internally will materialize in the outside world. I love how he says they will harden into facts. So let's come up with an example of that. When I was younger and when I was in high school, I entered the work program, and they would place you in, a job, a place of employment to get you ready for the workforce. So it was a blessing for me because at that time, because of my religion, we weren't the type that would expand our secular education, meaning we would not go and spend years in college and things of that nature because we were more so focused on living a modest lifestyle so that we could just prepare ourselves for, what they taught was our very near future. Meaning we wouldn't have a need for any of those things because our near future would consist of something much more promising that didn't involve any of that. So I entered this workforce program, which got me into work straight out of, or during high school, during my, was it junior and senior year? So anyway, I ended up going to, I was working at a bank. I knew that that job was as good as mine. They set me up for an interview, and I didn't have any doubts. Another reason I'm grateful is because my parents raised me in such a way where I didn't have any, like, you know, I wasn't lacking in anything. And I don't just mean materially. I mean internally, I didn't feel a sense of lack. Because of that, when I was told that this work program was going to start me off at a place of employment just to kind of, warm me up, get me used to things, I had no doubts. I didn't say, oh, I hope I get the job. I knew that I was going to be working at that bank. And sure enough, I was offered the job. Couple years later, a friend of mine who worked at a law firm told me that they were looking to hire some new people. They wanted they needed legal secretaries. Now here I am, a young girl, just, fresh out of high school. And she said, you don't need experience. They are willing to train you. The only thing that they require is that you knew a certain computer software program, which was something that I was really good at. I had taken a couple years of computers in high school. I was working with computers at the bank. So when she told me about it, I was like, they're gonna be hiring? I was like, okay. She said, yeah, I want you to come and apply. I want you to apply. And I knew that job was mine. I didn't have any doubt. I didn't have any question. I just knew that job was mine. And I always felt like that about any job. I felt like that about every job that I ever had. I knew that it was mine and it was offered to me. I didn't have a doubt like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get it. That never crossed my mind. Once I was let go from a job as a legal secretary, and the only reason that ever happened was because of my prayers. The prayers that I said asking for help at that time to place me in a situation that was going to provide better circumstances for my life at that given moment ended up in me transitioning from working as a legal secretary in downtown Chicago to a local place near home where I could better control my life and my circumstances at that moment. Once I got those things aligned, I went back to work as a legal secretary. No doubts, no fears, no questions. Now, here's the other thing. If there is something that you do know that is what you want to be doing, so a lot of people will say, well, I don't know what I want to do, or I don't know what my purpose is. I need help figuring that out. I need help understanding what I should be doing. It's because your mind is distracted, cluttered, crowded with all of the noise around you, I guarantee that you know what it is you want to do, who you are, what your soul's purpose is. You know this for a fact. Whenever I talk to people about stuff like that, they always say, oh, yeah, I always knew when I was young, I always knew that was like, going to be part of my life. But I just, how you never really believe that you could, aspire to something that great because of your limiting beliefs. Right, your limiting beliefs and people around you who say that you can't do this or you'll never do that or all you'll ever be is, those things tend to stick. You have to cleanse, create, and eliminate those things from your life. As an energy healing practitioner, that's what I specialize in. I help people to eliminate those limiting beliefs by cleansing, clearing, and renewing their chakras, their energy centers, by helping them to identify with the pictures that their soul emanates. Whatever pictures your soul emanate, I can see them when I'm working with you as an energy healing practitioner. I can literally see the pictures that emanate from your chakras. Most of us don't have to be an energy healing practitioner to see these things. You can see what's emanating from a person's life sometime when you just look at them. They are carrying with them pictures all over their aura. And you can see clearly what those pictures are saying about them, about their life, about where they're going, about where they're coming from. Most of us don't have to be an energy healing practitioner to see those things. But for those of us who are not used to reading our own internal messages, for those of us who are not used to listening to our intuition, for those of us who are not used to paying attention to what our bodies are telling us, what our energy centers are communicating to us, then I'm here to help you bridge that gap. So this is not something that I do without people's permission. Of course, it's a service I provide, and you can find it on my website at julywellness.com. However, when someone does come to me and they give me that permission, that is when I read into their chakras and what their frequency is putting out. Again, there are some things I can see just from mere observation. But when I am, looking into their chakras by means of an energetic connection, which can really only be explained through metaphysics. When I'm reading into their life, I can see things. I've been able to see spots on people's organs that they have later confirmed was something that their doctor informed them about. I've been able to see situations occurring in people's lives that they confirmed with me, and they're like, how could you know that? I'm like, you gave me permission, and I looked into the messages that your body is putting out. It's it's something that all of us really do, but most of us don't know that we do it. Most of us don't know that when we see what we may call signs, or if we imagine something, we think it is just a figment of our own imagination, but it's actually an accurate detail coming from that person. And so these things are what indicate what's going on with that person at the time. And because, again, everybody has free will, people are constantly moving, changing, growing, some even regress. But whatever the case, whatever that reading is at that time is accurate. Doesn't mean that it's going to continue to be the case, because that person gets to decide what they're going to do. Either what they're going to do with that information, or they may have some things that start to influence them from that point forward that may change things in a, a good way or a not so good way. Also, maybe because of the message that they received, that they weren't paying attention to themselves. But the majority of the time, when you tell them what their reading is, they always identify with it. They recognize that to be the case. And then they'll start telling you all this evidence and all this proof that backs up what you told them. Now, from there, they get to decide if they want to change things for the better. So just because your reading says one thing, it doesn't mean that it stays that way. I'm only reading into your Akasha energy, your Akashic records. I'm reading into the space within that you have internally that they call junk DNA. And depending on the service, if you want me to activate your DNA, then we do that too. However, just, engaging with me in any way, even just this video, is a way that activates DNA. It's like awakening you to certain spiritual truths about yourself as a spirit being that you didn't acknowledge before this point. So let that sink in. You are a spirit being. Allow your DNA to be activated. Ask your higher source. Ask for assistance. If you believe in angels, ask for assistance. If you believe in God, ask for assistance. If you believe in the universe, ask for assistance or signs or whatever. And then pay attention, because it always happens. It always happens. It always happens, guys. It always happens. So pay attention to the signs that you're going to be given. I want you to notice the answers to your prayers. Don't let them fly over your head. Don't take anything for granted. Take advantage of every little gem and morsel you are fed, you are given. Because that's who you were created to be. And so, gosh darn it, you're going to be it. You are it. You just have to believe it, step into it, and allow it to materialize rather than pushing it away with chasing or hoping or trying. No, just be, okay? Just be, human being. I love you guys so much. The powers that be, that matter, love you so much. And they are here to help you. That's all they want to do is help you. And if you have any concerns about that, if all this is too new for you and something that you can't really truly grasp or understand, or maybe you're afraid, then acknowledge that within. I don't want you to have any resistance. Think about your body. Are your muscles tense? Are your jaws tight? Does your head feel, do the muscles feel like they are tight? I want you to release. I want you to breathe through it. Take a few deep breaths. Relax. Ask for the help. Trust in faith that what you receive are your answers. And then take it all in and allow yourself to be. That's it. Just allow yourself to be. Don't do anything else. It's like floating in water, like I did in Lake Michigan. Just float, relax, and just be. All right. Sorry that it took a few weeks for me to get back on here. Thank you to those of you who told me that you would like to see me back on here and that you have been waiting for videos again on Sundays. This is my purpose. I love doing this. I love talking to people. I love helping people. I love loving people. I love to love, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to do this. I'm so grateful to so many people for being able to be here with you guys today. I wouldn't even have this channel if it weren't for my cousin who created it for me back in 2009, or no, 2010. So shout out to my cousin Antoine Cabell. Thank you for telling me that I need to put my talents on YouTube, which back then was fitness, which is why my handle, I think they call it, is July Fitness. So thank you for that, Antoine. And then once I started getting into business and also herbs, as far as helping others with the knowledge that I had already cultivated and had since a teenager. Then I met Kareem, or Herbalist Kareem, and he helped me to define my channel. And I appreciate him for that. and helping me even start my website, julywellness.com, where I do still have herbal products, but I also have my services. For me, that is like, that's more of me playing the role of who I came here to be, is to help you guys the way I am here on this live. But when you purchase my services, it's more of a personalized one-on-one where we can delve deep into your particular needs, so that you're not only just getting general information as you are here, but you are getting information that is going to help you with all the little specifics, including reading directly into your Akashic records, your DNA, literally. And if you have a hard time grasping that concept, but it is something you're interested in learning more about, of course, I took courses and classes to help me understand my superpowers that I already knew I had. But there are a lot of YouTubers out there who are good with this information, and I resonate with them heavily. And so the universe draws me to their channels. And it's so funny because when I start watching them, they're talking about all the things that I have been talking about in my videos, things that I relate to, things that I've been teaching people, things that I've taught in my course, how to become a divine channel. So I want you guys to check out Billy Carson. Excuse me. He's very good at explaining how to activate your DNA. If you just type in YouTube Billy Carson DNA, you'll find some videos that are going to help to explain what I'm talking about. Anyone can do this, but for those who are not used to it and who are not comfortable with it yet, who may not really fully have the confidence that they can do it, that's what I'm here for. And I will continue to do videos to explain these things and to help you guys to be able to relate. And I can only help you to understand it the way it relates to me and my life and my world, and the way I comprehend it. There are so many others like me, like I said, who are, resonating deeply with the frequency that I'm in, with the vibrations that I put out. So I said all that to say that not everybody is going to be able to appreciate the information that I'm giving, or you know how they say, hey, I'm not for everybody. But whether the time is now or maybe the time may be in the future, I'm here. I'll be here. You'll always have a way to find me. So anyway, I'm just going to bring this to a conclusion. I've been on here for 58.5 minutes. I enjoyed this hour explaining things to you guys. I hope that you guys, I said hope, see? You guys have a wonderful rest of the year. 2022 is very special, and I want you to tap in to this energy that is special for you. Get ready to go into 2023 fully loaded. All right. So you guys take care. I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Take care. I'll see you next week.